So like if
Thank you.
If you wanted to, do you think you could like pretty quickly like get a new guy?
I know that if I didn't give a shit about the quality of the relationship,
okay.
I could get a boyfriend in 5 seconds.
In 5 seconds, yeah.
I do. And people, if you want to think I'm delusional.
No.
I mean, not you, just people.
People
if people in general want to think I'm delusional, I know that they're wrong and they live in a very like binary understanding of love and attraction. And they're not willing to see things like outside of a different perspective. So people who are like committed to misunderstanding me or the plus love experience, I have no interest in debating the validity of my right to have love and
Did you
relationships.
After you've had some viral moments recently, did you get a lot of people DMing you like with a romantic interest, like they slid into the DM?
Not to sound cocky, but that's something that continually happens, and so I just don't take it seriously unless I think it's like, because I have standards, I have things that I want and things that are important to me, and like attraction is important, and also just other certain things. So I believe that both people should mutually be super excited to be together, and if that's not there, then I'm not interested.
I see. And you mentioned you've got standards. Do you consider yourself picky?
Yes and no. I feel like I just know what I want, and I'm not going to settle for something that I find boring or uninteresting or not the right fit.
Yeah. And you mentioned you kind of know what you're looking for. You've got standards. So I'm just curious, like kind of what are your standards? What are you looking for? And we're going to go around the table for everybody on this. What are you looking for? What are your standards? If there's any like, trying to think of the term here, must-haves, you know. Some people have the bare minimums, you know, height-wise, income, stuff like that. Yeah. Personality traits.
For me, personality traits are the biggest. For me, it's like I want us to have similar moral compasses.
Okay.
I'm an ex-Mormon, so I'm not really interested in being with someone who's like super religious of any capacity, that's like, I respect other people's beliefs, but my lived experience, I think that would be difficult for like a committed relationship.
So when you say moral compass, you mean a lack of moral compass?
No, I mean, I'm a very spiritual person, and I have my own...
I'm sorry, I didn't mean it as an insult.
I know.
If you bring up, you say this person X was hyper religious, right?
So yeah.
So you don't want that quality. So if that's not the quality that you want, then it seems like you're looking for an absence of okay. So what would be the morals you're talking about?
What I'm looking for is someone who has a moral compass that's driven by the desire to do good and be good without needing someone telling them to be that way. Because you can be an atheist and be the most kind, philanthropic person, but that does not mean that you can be hyper-religious and not be evil.
Yeah, I agree, but does that mean you're looking for an atheist?
No, I mean just someone who's not hyper-religious. If they're Christian, but they're not hyper-religious, I would be fine with that. They were spiritual, they were Jewish, they were atheist, agnostic.
When you say this, sorry to just kind of want to dive in on this a little bit. When you say not hyper-religious, what does that mean? Like they don't go to church every Sunday?
Fanatical, or I mean, if they went to church every Sunday but they weren't trying to convert me, that'd be fine as long as I wasn't forced to go to church. Like, so to me, it's just...
So what it is you don't want a partner to move their morality towards you. That's the preference.
Expect me to align with their religious beliefs, because I believe religious beliefs and moralities do not have to be intrinsically tied, even if they are for a lot of people.
Okay, so you're not looking really for a person who shares your morals, but just a person who won't force their morals on you.
Correct, but I would want them to have a certain level of...
Right, but just like not a serial killer or that type of thing.
But
right?
I'm just not necessarily like boxed in on like they need to be Christian, they need to be this, they need to, you know.
What about height? Height?
I mean, I have a preference.
Sure.
But...
Well, how tall are you? What's your preference?
I prefer, like, you know, I'm 5'6", so 6 and up is like perfect, but I dated someone for a really long time who was 5'9". That was great for me.
Okay.
But yeah, just a little bit taller than me is my bare minimum preference. But I would date someone if everything else was perfect and they were shorter than me. Like being short's not a deal breaker.
Okay.